And if you scan our QR code, it will take you to our beacons, which include links to join our community. We have an active community on Slack and as well LinkedIn. And now let's give our speaker, Camila, a warm welcome. Camila, if you would like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, perfect. Thank you very much for the presentation. I will start sharing my screen. Please let me know if you are seeing okay now.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, amazing, perfect. So hi everyone here who joins today in the webinar. Thanks Karolina for the presentation. It's an honor for me for being part of the Women Who Code community. I want to especially thank the team for the organization. And I think it's amazing to have a place where we have the chance to meet all amazing women and men around the world to talk about the impact and transformation that we are going through because of new technologies and mainly because of artificial intelligence. That is what we are going to talk right now today. To start this journey and today webinar together, I would love to tell you a little bit more about myself. So I started my career path more than 10 years ago. I am 29 years old in decision making and strategy for large organizations worldwide. One of those companies is the Walt Disney Company, where I mix different disciplines such as design, creativity, user experience, data science, and AI. Now I am the co-founder and chief data and product officer of a soccer startup that is in actually seed round. And I work in data strategy as an ambassador of the digital and cultural transformation. And also I am a woman tech maker ambassador for Google. So in a few words to make a quick summary, I love creativity and technology. That's definitely my two passions. In the last few years, our society has seen an incredible amount of change from the way we talk to each other, to how we do business, to what we expect from our institutions. It's been exciting to see such rapid advancement in technology, and we are living in the era of ChatGPT and AI. But it isn't always easy for everyone to adapt. We're going through a massive transformation as new technologies like AI become widespread in businesses. So as technology began to incorporate these new tools into their day-by-day operations, they are forced to reevaluate how they approach to the work. And in many cases, this means changing the way we think about value altogether and creation also. We don't know exactly what will happen in the future or tomorrow or the next year, but what we do not and we know it's that in order for us to stay ahead of the curve of this transformation, we need to keep our minds open and be ready for anything that comes in our way. So I think that it's a reality that AI is going to transform all businesses around the world. So, and if it's not doing it right now and you're not seeing it right now in your day-by-day in your work, it's going to happen in the near future now. So technological revolution, it's here, it's right ahead, and it's already transforming the world we are living and how we expect about it. So we are humans, we are not machines. We have heard in the last few years that the world is changing and that everything is going to be new. So it's logical that sometimes we feel a little bit uncomfortable thinking about this future because we do not know what is going to happen. But if you think about it, we are living in a time when technology it's evolving at an exponential rate, and we are starting to see all these new opportunities that AI it's bringing, giving us a positive and more inspirational way of looking into the future. So I would like to ask you some questions. You can answer it later if you want, but what happens in your mind when you look to your phone? It's just a small device to send messages, or maybe something else to do for. When you look to your phone, could you imagine like 10 years or 20 years ago that small device would help you find a new profession? I think when we start thinking about that stuff, we can see the clear evolution and also the impact that technology has with us. So the truth is that if we want a better future for ourselves and also our companies and our communities, we need to think about all these transformation ideas. But we don't have to do it alone. There are lots of companies, people, organizations like Women Who Code, and a lot of different communities right there that can help us in the process by providing us tools. No, that's why we're having this talk also today, and also insights that will allow us to make decisions in a more efficient way. I know that we are sometimes scared or perhaps a little bit confused about the world, how it's evolving with all this new tech, and we're still really scared sometimes. But there is nothing better than preventing ourselves for that future. And it was one of my initiatives when I decided to jump in and study and work in the AI field. That's why I would love to bring this phrase from Benjamin Franklin to the discussion. When we are leaders in a business, in a company, in a project, family, or a community, we are responsible for preparing ourselves, our teams, and our dear ones also. We must set goals beforehand or plan ahead, because if not, it's much harder to succeed in this technological revolution that we are living. It's not impossible, but much more complex. If our goal is to become successful, most of the times it comes from determination. Successful companies have short, medium, and long-term goals. For achieving these goals, being prepared, it's the key advantage. That's why I also told you that I decided to jump in, because I want really to be prepared for this. Being prepared as we can in order to help our company transform because of AI impact, it's essential to keep in mind what we have mentioned before, the human side of transformation. In order to deploy good tech, we have to work on the culture. It's not the other way around. We have to work it together, and that's the key of working with AI. So why we are debating so much about the impact of AI, and I think that these last weeks we have lived it because of ChatGPT and all the launches that we were having, but mainly because the way we work, it's also evolving as technology, as quick as technology also it's doing. So now we are situated in this continuing evolved age that we are living. So how we can understand this reality of modern work. And there are some changes and some things that we are seeing in this time. So we're seeing an increasing time demand by more or less for the 80% in collaborating with each other, and much more in remote and hybrid companies. That's perhaps a much higher number. Also, we are seeing an overwhelm amount of data, 59% of knowledge. Workers struggles to find the information they need in order to do it into their day-by-day task. And of course, cybersecurity, security threats, it's twice as many security breaches that we have lived and seen before. So how this modern work it's affecting and it's working with our day-by-day and what we are doing. So from one side, we have all the routine tasks, so that's why we have also talking a lot about how AI can make routine tasks and can help us with this part. So in order to help us be much more creative and also work on innovation much more. So 61% of employees spend their time in routine tasks. It's not tasks that they're doing to add value or something else, but these also have some negative effects because it affects their performance and also their career growth. And 20% of the CEO working time could be already automatized today. Also, I do not know if you agree with me to this, but I think that time is one of the most important concepts of this revolution. Thanks to data science team, we are having the chance to earn time, and be more efficient than ever we can do it before. And the mental sweetness also affect our focus. So we need at least 23 minutes to regain productivity after an interruption. And we receive interruptions all the time. We receive Slacks, messages, emails, our cell phones, a lot of things going up right there. So, and also we need around 3 minutes to when we switch into task by task. So that's why we are talking so much about how also we can take advantage of AI and also all these automatizations process that we can have. So that's why the vision of how we are seeing, you know, our company, our projects, it's so important. Once we have settled these short, medium, and long-term visions goals that we have spoken before, there is where we have to start understanding what are our use case, no? How I'm going to use this technology, how it's going to impact, it's going to be in order to make my team more product, with more productivity, or it's going to impact the final user. So this can be from creating new solutions, changing organizations, working on upskilling, or improving the way we work. We can start with very simple and small projects or goals. What I love the most about AI is that we can see it to solve problems, helping, improving. It's the way I love to see it. I transmit it, and I have a very positive way of thinking and how we can use it. And every company or business in this world faces different kind of problems during its life, beside its stage of maturity that they are. How can I use AI? It's a frequent question that different leaders ask me for, but what I like to ask them is, what problem do you have? Or what do you need to solve? No, it all starts all the time, and every time, anything, it starts with a question. Because mainly AI can or cannot be the solution. We always assume that we need technology to solve a problem, and most of the time we are right, but it's not always like that. That's why this stage, it's so important, because we are preventing of failing or do our best. You need first to understand deeply the problem, and that's the key to succeed when we're thinking about AI. I usually tell leaders and teams that in this first stage, when you want to solve a problem and you're thinking about it, you need to make a lot of interviews with principal stakeholders, with the final users, and with consumers, of course, if this applies, because generally the problem is presented to a team from another team who is not the final user that is going to be working in this solution. So in that chain of people, we listen to a lot of assumptions, and that make us work for the team who is presenting the problem, but not for the final user who really need this to be solved, who is the most important participant, and I love to call it like the real king here. So let's bring you an example. As you could hear, my English is not my native language. I am from Buenos Aires, Argentina, and my native language is Spanish. Although I am being studying English for the last 20 years, I will never be able to make this speech without making some grammar mistakes, perhaps, or perhaps not. And if we were giving you this speech in Spanish and you were receiving, for example, a light translation with AI, I assume that you will better understand the concept that I want to transmit to you. But you will not be able to feel the passion, my emotions when I speak. Not for now, but perhaps in 10 years, yes, it would be, if we can start thinking about the metaverse, that sounds a little bit more possible. But also when it comes to checking the spelling and the coherence of the sentence, I use different tools in order to empower myself and the ideas I want to share with you. And this is one of the keys to how we can transform and learn from taking the most advantage from technology. So finding tools or creating ideas to make our lives and work much simple. When I have to write, for example, text, since it's a different language for myself, and sometimes I am not so much creative, using this amazing tool, I am 10 times much faster, help me be more productive and save time. Copy IE, it's a tool that helps me be more efficient, not just in my work, but also when I have to do personal stuff. And are very clear examples of how tech can help us be more efficient and save time, no? Focusing on my main goals, no? Where I can use it to empower myself. So my advice here is to start simple. Ask yourself where AI really fits. Sometimes we just complex ourselves, and thinking on transformation goes from adoption, this kind of second tech. No, this is an application. I can go into Google, I can use it, and I am using AI behind that. So it's using second tech to huge projects that can take perhaps a lot of years. So that's why I like to share with you also a little bit more about my experience. No, I have the fortune of being part of the process to think, to plan, and implement an AI project in a company that has more than 100 years of history, and now plan, implement another project with a startup that has less than some years. It's amazing to start seeing all the different scenarios and also all the companies that things have, although they have very different situations, although that they have going through and they are going through the same journey. No matter the size of the business and the amount of employees that you have, the framework most of the time looks the same. If you really care about making a solid plan, and here I want to show you also another thing about my learnings applying AI in big and also small companies. So my first learning and takeaway is first start with education. We can get scared of AI. We can think of, okay, my business is not tech, or feel it's so far away in the future. But before taking the assumption you don't need tech, data, or AI, start learning. Having the chance of understanding of things, it's another definitely competitive higher power that we can have with all these things. So here, it's also another prayer that I would love to make to you. It's that also the second step, it's when you have been educated and you understand it, train your team. I am sorry if this sounds a little bit or quite obvious, but having the right people in your organization and the company, it's definitely another key advantage in this era. I know that we're talking about data, that it's a technology, and AI, that it's another technology, but we humans are the ones in charge of what we create upon technology. So developing a team, giving them tools, and of course, a good culture, it's one of the best and most important parts when we want to develop a project with AI. It's another checklist that we have to do when we want to make a project with this technology. Also work on upskilling all the employees that are in our company and in your company, understand your business, your culture, and your purpose. So give them the tools to grow and catch the AI tsunami wave. We all know how the works are going to evolve and change in the next years. We need to think about all the people that need the tools to be able to adapt to this kind of change. Dedicate time and listen to them. They are the most important people in your organization. Listen also to the term artificial intelligence, machine learning, how our lives are changing, and all the futurist stuff that we already talked a little bit before. I know it's been quite overwhelmed and most the last month. So that's a fact. We all have been there. We all have been scared. So every time we want to climb a mountain, most of the time it seems completely impossible. And our brains start to show all the red flags. No, be careful, but this and this and this and this. But if we start saying, okay, today I will do this, and after I will do this, and after I will do this, the mountain seems to be a little bit small and perhaps like a small hill. So sometimes first we need to think with an MVP mentality, because if not, it happens that we never start. So the first step to do this is to start and start small. I'll always mention also that my work is like a roller coaster. Some days it sounds impossible to do all the problems that we have. all the technology and everything looks really impossible to achieve and to do it. And another day, you see the opportunities, and I think that, okay, the sky is the limit. We are going to do everything. So it's common, mostly when you work in the startup world, so to have these ups and downs all the time. I think that in order for do this and really be able to apply all this and work it in your team, it's motivational in this AI era. It's quite important. Try to make quick wins. No, I always like to say, okay, develop small tasks that can help you motivate and create value in a short term. But think about the final goal always. You have to live in the present and also live in the future. Because sometimes, or most of the time, when we start an AI project, we want to finish, no? And some process take a lot of time. So we have to make the tools or try to think about how I can get excited for the team in order to be ready for the ups and downs and also for everything that it's going to be on the road. And also another of the steps that we have to take in mind and into consideration is leadership. No, leadership is a crucial part of this transformation. In terms of the challenges around capturing value in data insights, there is always the risk of separating the data and the business. No, this is one of the, I think, the most problems, or the most of the times the projects fail. No, this risk. In other words, that there will be a gap between what is possible from a data science capability versus the development of solutions that fits the business needs. So the transformation from insight into insight-based value creation, it's also always at risk of not being fully and properly considered. So here it's another point that we have to take a lot into consideration. And the most critical challenge is the lack of proper entering of data analytics competence at a senior leadership level. There's no way around it. No commitment to leadership and directions are required to drive insights-oriented transformation. So we have to think it also how we can get leaders on board. So another of the most important things that we have to take into consideration, it's most of the, or one of the most interesting things about AI is not just that AI is changing all the time. We're seeing advantages every week. So technology is that every day we have to be and understanding that we are living in a progress and in a process. No, it's amazing because new solutions came along very frequently. I think that most of the weeks we have advantages and also new launches, a new tech going out there. But sometimes what we're doing now, next month could be old. So that's why learning, listening, and communication, and also I think working in community with other partners, it's so important. Because if not, we can not be able to catch the wave. So it's one and another of the key competence that we have to have right now. So we can't predict how the future is going to be. And that is how and what we are debating right now, mainly focused on AI. But what we really know is that if we understand and we really use technology for achieving our goals and in our favor, it's the best solution we can work on. Understanding that the goal here, and mainly in this AI era, and I think a whole year that we are living, is that we have to become more human than ever before. And if we become the partners with technology, we are going to be unstoppable. But we have to think it as we are partners. No, here we have tech and we have AI and we have data, and it's just a tool for us to work. No, so we have to think how we can become partners, how we have to work together in order to make this partnership and do things but by their side. So Being a good listener when you work in tech and mainly in AI, it's another definitely key element that we need to have right now. So and here also I want to bring you one of the things that mainly in every project also that we have discussed a little bit more about why some AI projects fail, and also how we can prevent of our goals to not be at risk. And also I think that here it's like the key element in everything that we are debating today. We cannot apply good AI if the teams or the company that we are working on don't want or can't change. We need to be very careful and guide the different profiles and roles so that when AI launches, we have the team on board. If not, you will start a fight that will not be happy for anyone. Also, it's very important to have this into consideration. And it's also another reason why some AI projects fail. So that's why I brought you the advice of learning and leadership. And also because I've been there, I had the chance of working and being part of a very huge and also industry company. So that's why I think that there it's the place where we have to focus and think. Although we are always like very focused in tech, the human part it's one of the key things that we have to take definitely into consideration. So the learnings I want to share with you today, it's that when you recognize that you have a business problem, you have it right there and you know it, and AI it's the solution. You have to open 2 or 3 working tracks at the same time. From one side, you need to start looking to the data and how it's going to be used, and at the same time, you have to see and understand your team structure and culture, what we have spoken before, and how you can help them jump in and see all the amazing opportunities AI can give them. So how they would become better professionals and not seeing AI as a threat, how your team is going to carry this over in with their goals, and I think it's our goal when we are leaders, and we cannot force it. We have to go by their side and be there as soon as they need us. And final but not least, if we have final users on the project, see how open they are to listen to different points of view. If they are open to listen to new points of view and solutions, because here it's also another big challenge, because you can work and also we can work on an incredible analysis with AI, ML projects, and the final user says, but we work like this for the last 15 years. Why we have to trust in this algorithm or in this insight that you are bringing to us? And here appears another big challenge to solve. So that's why the culture, showing the possibilities and not the problems, mainly focusing all the problems that we have, it's a good way to start transforming through organization. Because we see that these parts and these teams have to definitely work together. So the impact of AI in every business, I think it's a fact, and we have seen it more than ever these last weeks with all these big launches. But if we can anticipate and start working on the transformation, we're gonna to be much prepared. So that's why it's great to these discussions and also talk together about all these amazing opportunities that we have in front. And one of the most clear statements that AI brings us now is that everything is possible. Things that not far like 4 years ago were impossible to dream or to think about. Now there are things that we use every day. So also this bring this scare, it's this part when we are seeing perhaps all the opportunities, but also a lot of scares came to place, and we start to perhaps think about our opportunities, how we are going to use it and everything. But it's a way to understanding and afterwards apply it as the best as we can. So I think in this moment that we are living, incorporate all these tools. Would make us acknowledge that without taking into consideration the human side, AI, it's really impossible to achieve. To create an excellent business, you need to create the perfect combination between AI and people. Always put people first. That's definitely the key in this process. So that is where you become unstoppable and your company become to have no limits. No, in this algorithm age, having a good plan and understanding of how to unlock the power of data is what is going to make us more valuable than ever before. So that's why my advice here is to become, as we discussed before, a good listener, be very creative, always thinking about creative solution, have an analytic mind. Also, another key element here is to become a very good problem solver. As we have spoken before, it all starts with a question or a problem that we want or need to solve. Incorporate storytelling, because how we talk, how we communicate, how we transmit our ideas, it's the key element also in this part, and how we're going to make impact or not with the things that we're doing. And also become very good business partners, because here it's where you understand, and also we are all part of different business projects, and we have to have it in mind in order to have all the different elements and become as much better and be the professional we want to be and become. So that's everything that I have to you for today. Thank you very much for having me here. I hope you enjoy, and after today's session, you would like to apply AI or data on Monday in every project that you're facing right now.
Camila, thank you so much for sharing your perspective and insights on AI. We still have a few minutes left, and we have a few questions. So I was wondering if we can ask them to you. So let's see. So how to get started in AI in data science, and I believe we can blend it together, and how important is storytelling at the same time in data world?
Yes, I think that right now we have also another key advantage that no matters how it's our day by day, we have different types of being educated. For example, I love to listen to podcasts, I love to read. I also have the chance for being part of communities like Women Who Code. So we can also go to a university or study a career. So I think that it's great that now we have a lot of tools, a lot of different, and also I think that amazing part of this is that they are adapted for how it's our routine. So perhaps you are not part or on the data and AI field, but you want to start it and you have some very long routes to go to your work, so you can put a podcast and you can start it with that. Or if not, if you want to really make a big career change, you can study with the lot of courses that you have online right now. So I think that the most important thing is to start when you take the decision that you want to do that. And after that, you have to choose what's the best channel to use it and also start learning. But I think that we are in a good moment, because no matter how it is, we can use it, and they're very diverse, and they're like right there in internet. So we have it very, very by our side.
Thank you so much.
And the other part, sorry, of storytelling, I think that it also applies in the same way. I think that having a storytelling mindset, it's something that it's also another plus to your career and what you're doing. Everything that you do, you have to think it with storytelling, because the impact in the brain of the people, in how they're feeling about what you're telling, it's as much as important, and the other part of the analysis, the data collector and everything, because it's something that we have to have it in mind when we really want to make impact, and when we want to make analysis that afterwards have a clear action plan when we present it.
Thank you so much. Next question is, so what are the main challenges that companies will have to solve about AI in a close future?
Yes, there I would go back a little bit in what we're talking. I think that AI has no problem in order how to use it and the advantages and how it's going to grow. So that's why I always talk a lot about the human side, because I think that the challenge that company has is to educate their teams with these technologies. Because if not, it's what is happening right now, that if you don't understand it, you don't use it and you feel scared about, and perhaps some projects are failing because of that. If companies, and I think here is where private and public sector have to work together, really work on this transformation of skilling plans and really give us tools, I think that we are not having, and companies are not going to have a lot of AI problems. But if not, I think that most of AI projects are going to fail.
Thank you so much for sharing your perspective on that one. And we have one more question. If I'm a front-end developer currently, how can I change my career path to become a data marketer first, and after business intelligence and analyst or data analyst?
Okay, I love that question because I always like to say, for example, I started my first career was as graphic designer, and now I am a data scientist. So I have been there, although what you have asked there is not very far away as my universe that I have been going through the creative part to the tech side. But it's very similar as what I have say before in the first question, is that I think that the positive thing that we are living right now is that it's not that before that perhaps for 30 or 40 years we do the same job. Now we are changing all the time. I was like 5 years creative, and now I have been 5 or more years data science and AI. And perhaps the next 5 years I'm going to do another stuff. So I think that the amazing part of this is that everything that you have learned as being a web developer is not a waste of time, because all the things that you have studied there, you are going to apply it in this new role. So I think that there also you're going to be a professional with more perspective. You will understand different points of view. You have been going through different projects and different things. So I think that this and mainly that type of changes is things that we have to encourage to do more and not be afraid of what is going to happen, because I think and there are some also analyses that companies are doing that in the next years the 80% of the work we are not really now knowing what type of works they're going to do. So everybody's going to change. So I think that having the mindset of wanting to improve, to change career, it's something that it's going to definitely help you in this road. And how to do that change, I think that you already decided because you want to do it. So that's the first step. And after that, I think that being part of communities, it's a great part, because you can access to a lot of courses and content that it's going to share with you. And if you want to go to something like more traditional, you could also study different courses that are right there. And I think that we have the chance to see small courses, long courses, like we have very personalized content. So there's definitely an amazing part to do it.
Thank you so much for sharing this perspective. And one more question from me, since you've been in the industry for about 10 years and you've seen different transitions within business and data science and AI. So it is AI recently is such a hot subject. So I was wondering, like, is regarding AI, are you worried that AI will take some of the jobs? I know this is a topic that everyone is talking about, and I was wondering your opinion on that.
Yes, I think that, or I am quite sure that most of the works are going to change. I think that that's definitely a fact and something that we are seeing right now. I don't believe that we are going to be replaced because we are going to do more things. We as humans, we have been and passed through 3 different revolutions. I think this is the 4th, definitely, revolution. If we talk like 20 years ago, and everybody told you at that time that we were going to have like content creators and people would be working with a phone, I think everybody would say that we were crazy and that machines were going to go with our lives. And I think that now it's something similar that we are going through. So that's why I think it's so important, this community, and also the communities that are around there, because as we have also discussed before, we have to acquire the ability to change all the time and to learn new things. And I think that it's good because we have the chance to reconvert ourselves all the time. And perhaps if we were doing something that we don't like it much, we can change. And now that it's accepted, and also to add to that, when I left the creative world and I left working with the creative teams, everybody told me, but you are not going to design anymore and you are going to leave this all behind. And when I start working with AI, I design more than ever before. So I think that it's the part when we use all our tools in order to improve and change all the time. So in order to summarize your question, I think that we have to be prepared for the change. The change is not easy. Any change is easy. But I think that we have the chance and we have the perspective to do it, and we are open to learn new things. We are not going to don't have work. We are going to have much work than now. I definitely think that.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And as well as we are wrapping up, last question, what is the most rewarding thing about working in AI and data science world?
Oh, I think
and
that
it could be personal, from your personal experience or in general.
Yes, so I think that in my previous work, I have the chance to make people happy. So I think that it's like one of the most things that I love, because we have the chance to personalize content, to make people make their day-by-day better because they were doing things they don't like, and we have the chance to automatize their data. And now I work for a startup that is from soccer, and we use AI to achieve dreams. So that's why I have this perspective, and what I see about what we can do with AI. What I am doing now, it's connecting football players that have dreams of becoming a football player with clubs. And without AI, it would be very, very difficult to achieve this. And we have success cases thank you to AI. And now a boy or a girl outside there, it's achieving their dream because we have the chance to use technology in their favor. So that's why I love and I like to use AI to make people happy or do their life better. That's the way I love to do it, and how I apply it right now. And achieving dreams, I think it's the best part of applying AI into businesses.
Thank you so much for sharing, and we wanted to appreciate your contribution to the session, and we are delighted for you to speak in the future. So as we are wrapping up, again, thank you so much for joining us, and have a good night, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us, Camila.
Thank you.